What's up, guys? War here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are checking out another sorcerer build. I think probably the last one for the PTR as far as new content, and that is the brand new helmet Hail of Verglass for the Ice Shards power. You can see all the Ice Shards that are shooting out, and it's really cool. It's a very cool ability. It's super fun, man. So today I'm going to go over this build, just kind of roughly put together, working with the community and putting this thing together within the PTR, just testing out a bunch of stuff, guys. So I did see this on their dev stream, so I was very curious about this because I don't think anybody has really used Ice Shards in God knows how long. So it's really cool to actually see this build be something, you know, and actually viable, usable, etc. It's pretty gnarly, man, if I'll say so myself. So let's go over everything that I kind of put together and just kind of talk about the build a little bit and how cool it is, man. I think it's going to be a pretty fast farming build for Season 8. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So skill tree, again, this is very scuffed, guys. So all of the information from all the build videos that I'll be releasing for the PTR is all subject to change depending on what the devs do. So this is just based off of what we have right now. It is a public test realm, so this is just what we have. Feel free to like the video. Comment down below. Let me know if you know any changes or anything that we could do to improve the build. So we do got Spark here. We're not using a basic at all. Spark's just to get you down here. We got Ice Shards at 20 ranks. Integrator Ice Shards, which is awesome. While you have a barrier active, it always receives a bonus, which we will always have a barrier active, and we always make enemies vulnerable, so we don't need destructive. You're definitely going to go greater. So we got a few points in potent warding. We got points in elemental dominance for more damage. We got 1 point into flame shield because we're basically doing the same defense setup. Teleport into shimmering. Glass cannon for more damage. Ice armor into mythical ice armor. Energy focus for more barrier. Dampened layer for damage reduction while we have a barrier, because we will always have a barrier. We got precision magic for lucky hits. We got ice blades into roaring, of course, for the cooldown on all our abilities. We kind of got a few points into mana shield for more DR. We do max out icy veil for a little bit more like length and have our barriers last a whole lot longer, so that way we can maintain all of our buffs, which with our cooldown percentage, we basically get ice armor on permanent uptime for the most part. Then we're going to come down where this is where we're taking our full frost setup here. We're going to be taking permafrost maxing for damage, hoarfrost maxing for damage, icy touch maxing for damage, as well as an extra point or 2 points into frigid breeze, just for some mana back, because Ice Shards does cost a lot. We do have elemental synergies for more damage. We got evocation for cooldown. And then we have deep freeze into supreme deep freeze, just as an extra layer of not only defense, but a little bit of damage. The key passive of choice that we're taking is avalanche. There is a few ones that you could try. Like avalanche is pretty solid. Shatter is good. Enlightenment is good, especially on this build. It feels fine if you're using enlightenment here. Like, as soon as you rack the stacks up, like you can see I'm at 50. So as soon as we can rack the stacks up, it feels fine. You know what I mean? But to me, I think avalanche is just better, because with our lucky hit chance of 30% and the like Ice Shards being able to be cast multiple times in succession very quickly, we do get this thing where it's free and it does increase damage, which just makes it really fun to use. And you can see that our mana really doesn't get harped on too much because of those free casts and increased damage. Now, we are like a vulnerable build here, so we do want to try to make enemies vulnerable as much as possible. So we're probably going to need to put something somewhere that allows us to make enemies vulnerable pretty easily. As long as we have a barrier, they get treated like frozen, but we do need to make them vulnerable. Outside of that, guys, it's pretty straightforward as far as the skills. Inside of our enchantment slots, we do have Ice Shards enchantment, so they automatically conjure and fly towards frozen enemies, which just adds more damage. And then we have teleport just to be able to move around. You can toy around and use some other skills in that enchantment slot. Like, for example, we could do Fireball, which is probably really good for farming, you know, a lot of mobs. Makes farming this stuff when we do destroy them really easy, and they just all blow up, which is great. Makes playing the build a lot more fun than you would expect. which is really, really cool. So toy around with the enchantment slots, guys. You can kind of pick and choose what you really want to do. It's totally up to you as far as what you want to play. I mean, you could even really do Frost Nova if you really... Not Frost Nova, but Frozen Orb if you really wanted to. Like, just as another added measure, it does not really matter. Okay, so I'm just gonna put teleport in here because I really want the mobility. All right, into the gear, guys. There's no real breakpoints on this. It's pretty standard from Ice Shards from last season. With the new addition of the Hail of Verglass here, this is going to give us a lot more damage and attack speed and big bonuses to Ice Shards. This is also the item that allows our Ice Shards to split. So now we get 2 additional Ice Shards. You can see that just the increase wave, which is really, really cool. It's probably one of the more cool looking powers out of all the uniques that they've done to change a skill. So that looks really, really good. Of course, Shroud of Frost Death for more damage, right? Then we're doing Storm Swell for more damage because we're a pure vulnerable build and we will always have Ice Armor active. So Ice Armor's active. We do so much more damage. It's very easy to keep that. Snow Veiled. So while we have Ice Armor, we get Unstoppable and DR. Then we have Ghostwalker. You can pick any other thing that you want to put into the boots. I like Ghostwalker because while I'm unstoppable, I get more move speed. So speed farming content and doing like the Helltide and stuff or dungeons is going to be really fast in this build. We got Piercing Cold, which Ice Shards pierce and deal increased damage. Then we have Conceited. While we have a barrier, we do more damage. Of course, Ring of Starless Skies for damage, the increase to core skills, and the resource cost reduction. Tal Rashes, of course, that's on every build. And then we got Shredding Blades, so chance to apply vulnerable through our Shredding Blades, and we deal increased damage with Shredding Blades. So as long as you have the blades active, you should make stuff vulnerable. Although I will say I am killing some enemies without them being vulnerable that I do notice, and we have a significant damage increase to vulnerability. So we might need to add something in here where we increase the chance to make enemies vulnerable. I'm not really sure where I could put that because we don't have a ring slot, but we're toying with it. That's the gear, guys. Pretty standard here. Nothing crazy. For these, we got Sir Thul. So invoke the mystical Frost Nova to make them not only frozen but vulnerable, which is huge for us. And then we have Igni Cry. So it stores an offering when we cast a non-basic skill. And then it does the Spiritborn's Vortex where it pulls them all in, which is kind of great. So as we pull them in and we shoot our Ice Shards, it just groups them up and we can deal a crap ton of damage to all of these monsters. So you can see it's going to pull them in, which just allows us to focus on the damage here. Look at this. Oh, on the Helltide boss, just absolutely destroyed, man. They got to make him better. That was cool for the video. Now, outside of that, let's go ahead and TP because these guys are going to be summoned on me and I don't want to fight them right now. Let's go over Paragon. Paragon's pretty standard, guys. This is pretty much the same stuff from previous season and kind of what's going on. Again, if you want to just look at it, this is probably going to change as far as the PTR. But the gems or the glyphs that I'm using is Control for more damage. Destruction because we crit. Eliminator, which is fantastic. Just gives us a big increased bonus here. We got Tactician for more damage because we're using defensive skills. And then we got Winter for even more damage, cold damage, etc. You could probably get rid of Eliminator. You could probably toy around and maybe do Enchanter or Exploit because we do vulnerable damage, which is fine. Any of those are really, really good. You could even do Reinforce if you really wanted to. Elementalist is fine for more damage. I don't think Cryopathy is really that great, but you could try it. I mean, there's a lot of other options here that make this fine, but besides that, guys, there's not really much that you can use with here. I mean, I kind of like it. As far as our bonuses, we're doing Searing Heat for more damage. We're doing Icefall for more damage. We are also taking, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, then we take Fundamental Release. This is pretty much going to be the thing that's in every single board, by the way. And that's it as far as the Paragon, guys. So this is Ice Shards. I really do like it. We're basically just using what the build was last season and swapping out helmets and a few powers because now we're limited in the slots, right? So that's all we really did, man. The new helmet's pretty cool. I think this is great. If you can find this early when you're playing in the campaign, I think it's going to be a really cool build. So yeah, I think this is a solid build. I think it's really fun. It's like visually, it looks great. So far, I'm in Torment 3. I didn't want to go super high because I don't think there's a lot of players that are going to get to Torment 3 and 4 in this next season with the difficulty changes. But Ice Shards feels really, really cool, and I really like how it looks. You can do some really good damage on here, and I think speed farming, like you're just gonna kind of like cruise through, man. I mean, we're pretty fast, and you just kind of dash and throw this, or you can just spam it, right? Like, you can just spam it. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, guys, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, one last thing, the boss powers that we have for this. So, we're deciding to do Belial's I-beams. That means when we hit our potion, you get the I-beams here, which is pretty sweet. Then we're doing Cinderit's Flame, so we gain increased damage for each % of the elemental resistances up to that. So, we're doing a crap ton more damage here. Then we're also doing Flesh Reapers. We gain more vulnerable damage because we're a vulnerable build, right? Very cool. And then we got Torcus Rage. I'm toying with this one. This one seems really cool. We get an increased attack speed for this. This is probably going to work more in your dungeons or pits. A really good swap out for this is probably, where is it? This one, more move speed if you want. Like, the more cooldown that you have, the more move speed that you have, so you can just fly through stuff, which is probably really, really good. But yeah, guys, that's what we got. No big deal. Vulnerable stuff inside your weapons. And that's the build, man. Again, guys, like, comment down. Let me know what you guys think. I'll answer any questions that you guys have about the build. It really does help out the channel and the videos if you guys like and comment. Thank you so much. And as always, stay gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.